Madagascar 3 Years Most Wanted has been out for quite some time now, and I've seen it, but before we get to my mega review and smooth, let's review the first two films of the franchise, Madagascar and Madagascar Escape to Africa, really quickly because I like to. Move it!
Marker.
What's crack-a-lack in my Mega Movie people? This is Marker98 here on my new channel, Mega Movie Man Mark, sporting the Born to be Wild New York City t-shirt. And by the way, this is the closest you're going to see me get to a Madagascar-related t-shirt. I am not wearing those little kitty Alex the Lion t-shirts. Anyways, I'm here to give you my mega reviews on the first two films in the Madagascar franchise. As I said in the intro, the first came in 2005 and the second in 2008. So let's start with the first one, obviously Madagascar. I know this movie means a lot to my childhood, or let's just say 2005 hood. I'm trying to hide the fact that I was still a kid in 2005, but we have to face the facts here. Yes, I still was a kid and I fell in love with this movie. I remember first seeing the sneak peek of the movie on the Shrek 2 DVD, I believe. Ben Stiller was just talking about the plot and everything. Back then it still had its old logo, but right away I was involved with the story, characters, funny voice acting, and was ready to see this movie. And when the time came, I saw it as a birthday party thing. Thumbs up is how I start this review. That was the first time out of many I saw Madagascar. Now the movie stars Ben Stiller, Chris Rock, Jada Pinkett Smith, David Schwimmer, Sacha Baron Cohen, and Cedric the Entertainer, and all do a great job. The film starts off by introducing Alex the Lion. As a self-centered attraction at the New York City Central Park Zoo. Then you have Melman. Wake up, it's another beautiful day in the Big Apple. I think I see another spot. Yeah, I remember some of the lines, so I'm going to break into them. You also have Gloria and Melman, who's just crack-a-lackin'. He just wishes to be free so his dreams can come true and he could be elsewhere and he could not be in that small little zoo. I wish I could go to the wilds. And eventually comes true at night when he escapes to Grand Central Station. It's grand and it's central. And obviously his friends wake up, they chase him with this score music in the background. And they eventually end up in Madagascar. Now, first off, I think this is an extremely original concept with amazing voice acting, and the best part of this film is its comedic timing. I mean, every time I watch this movie as I grow older, the movie still gets a laugh out of me. Whether it's from a little kid part, or a part I didn't get when I was a kid, and you know that's special. Because the film is good for adults and kids, and it's the perfect family film. It's not a perfect movie on its own, but I'm still gonna give Madagascar a 4.5 out of 5 mega marks. May sound a little bit too high, but that's just because this movie means a lot to me. Next, Madagascar 2! Or Madagascar 2. This one starts exactly where the last one ends. It might be maybe a few days after the last one ends, where animals are still trying to get back home. And it's a good thing they didn't get back home in the first one like a Disney movie would do it. If it was a Disney movie, you know they would get home in the end. But in the first one, they don't get home in the end. It kind of leaves the ending open. They have a chance to make a sequel, and they took it. I'm glad Madagascar 2 isn't about them in New York again. It's another great adventure, and we're here along the ride. But there's good news and bad news for our friends as they fly away to New York in the plane. The good news is they're landing immediately. The bad news is the crash landing. Yup, the motor broke, so they crash in Africa. La 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 la. That went too far. I apologize. And in Africa, Alex meets the line that we saw in the opening scene of the film in the flashback, which, by the way, the opening scene of this film is fantastic. And the line that he meets is his father. So now Alex is with his family, but even if he wanted to go back home, the plane crashed, so that's gonna take a while, maybe 69 weeks? 69 weeks? No, 6 to 9 weeks. So they stay in Africa where Mel and Marty Gloria meet more of their kind. Now in the sequel to an awesome animated film in my opinion, there was a much better structure to the film, and the laughs are just as top notch, if not better at some points. However, in the first movie, the animals were established as partners, introduced as a group, and the chemistry with them is just awesome. Now in this film, they kind of go their separate ways, but near the end and the middle, they do get their moments together. Those scenes are great. It's just there's not as much as the first one. I mean, you know, Melman and Gloria do get their little thing going on that didn't happen in the first, and they try to like make it seem like Melman was interested in Gloria his whole life with the flashback. I think the biggest problem with the movie is that it's just really unoriginal. I mean, the first one was like very original, was a new idea. A few months later, Disney did their version of animals getting to the wild. I'm sure they didn't copy Madagascar. They just had the same idea at once, which happens all the time with two companies, all the time. Despicable Me and Megamind, Ants and A Bug's Life, that sort of thing. Even Ratatouille and Flushed Away. Flushed Away's original name was Retropolis, and they even had to change the name. When The Wild, Disney's The Wild, was like so similar to Madagascar, I really wanted to see it because it's a Disney film, right? And my mom was like, no, you already saw that movie. It's called Madagascar. I'm like, no, this is the Disney version. She's like, you know what? I am spending my money wisely on you, son. And I am not spending money on the same story as what you saw a few months ago. Alright? Okay. But I eventually did see The Wild and it kind of sucked. And the reason why they go to the wild in The Wild is because the main lion's son gets stolen. And so Madagascar 2, when that came out, they were like, yeah, we're gonna get back at Disney. They did that exact same thing. The younger lion gets stolen from his dad. I thought that was pretty funny how they got back at Disney. They're saying, don't you dare copy our idea again or we'll copy yours. I thought that was pretty funny, but still, it's unoriginal, right? And they have like flashbacks of the Lion King. Like flashbacks in your own brain, obviously not the movie. There's the evil brother, Scar, or whatever his name is in this movie with the wacky hairdo, who wants to get rid of his brother as king so he could be king and he could rule the land, and when he does, everyone's like losing water, and then Africa isn't surviving, and at the end everything's happy. I thought that was way too similar to The Lion King. Way too similar. But it still is a fun film. The comedic timing is just as good as the first, if not better. Like I said earlier, the animation is obviously better. Another thing that they tried to introduce that wasn't in the first one, Alex's birthmark, which tells him that he is really the son of the other lion. They both have a birthmark on their hand, when really there were so many scenes in Madagascar 1 where Alex would go like that, and his hands are like plain. But in this one, they add a birthmark. So DreamWorks does that all the time. They do it with Shrek. Rumpelstiltskin was like a good guy in the first Shrek. Or in the third one, sorry, he gives up. And then in the fourth one, all of a sudden he becomes a midget with different hair and no hat. And then he wants to be a bad guy again. No, it's a different character. They have the same name. They're both Rumpelstiltskin. So DreamWorks does that all the time, where they add things that weren't in the first. But the second one's still a good movie, so I'm gonna give it 1 mark less. 4.45 mega mark.
Is mega worth watching over and over and over again.
So there you go. Doesn't this get you excited for Madagascar 3? But that's it for now. This is Mega Movie Man Mark signing out. Don't forget to like and share the video. Comment below. Did you see Madagascar? Was this a part of your childhood? Did you not really like the movies like as much as I did? What do you think about the movies in general? And remember, subscribing to Mega Movie Man Mark is mega cool. Stupid phone! Shut up, phone! Shut up! Who is still talking? Oh wait, that was me.